Snake venom, deadly poison or medical miracle?
Imagine something that can both end a life and save it. Snake venom might sound like the last thing you'd want inside your body, but it's actually full of secrets that can help us make life-saving medicines. While a snake's bite can be deadly, scientists have figured out how to turn that danger into something amazing. They use the venom to make anti-venom, which is the medication you need if you ever get bitten by a venomous snake. But that's not all. Researchers have discovered that snake venom has special proteins and enzymes that can be used to treat conditions like heart attacks and blood clots. For example, a medicine called captopril, which is used to treat high blood pressure and heart failure, was developed from the venom of the Brazilian pit viper. Talk about a twist, right? The thing that could harm us can also heal us. It's like the snakes are providing us with their own antidote. Next time you see a snake, from a safe distance of course, remember, it's not just a slithering creature, but also a potential lifesaver in disguise.
Ice cream in winter? Unravel the chilly truth of cold weather cravings.
Ice cream is perfect for hot summer days, right? But guess what? In some places, more ice cream is sold in winter than in the summer. It sounds wacky, but it's true. For example, in Norway, people don't pack away their ice cream scoops when the snow starts falling. They actually eat the most ice cream during the coldest months of the year. And they're not alone. Even in the United States, states with colder climates, like Alaska, have high ice cream sales in winter. Why? Well, some say cold foods can make your inside feel warmer by contrast. Others think eating something like ice cream in a cozy, warm room makes people happy. Plus, winter holidays mean more sweet treats and celebrations. Whatever the reason, it's clear that chilly weather doesn't stop the ice cream cravings. So next time you're bundled up and it's snowing outside, know that you're not alone if you're dreaming of a big bowl of your favorite frozen dessert.
Buzzworthy fact: can bees recognize your face?
Think only humans and big-brained animals can recognize faces? Think again. Bees might have tiny brains, but they're a lot smarter than you might guess. These little insects can actually remember and even recognize human faces. Scientists showed bees photos of different people, and the bees learned to pick out the same faces again to get a sweet reward: sugary water. But how do bees, with their super small brains, do something so complex? It's not that they see faces the same way we do. Instead, they use their amazing pattern recognition skills. They look at the parts of a face, like eyes, nose, and mouth, as if they were strange flowers. By learning the patterns of these flower parts, they can tell one flower or face from another. Isn't it incredible? Next time a bee buzzes around you, it might just be trying to see if you're a friend it recognizes. So give your local bees a smile. They might just remember you.
Mind-blowing space. Fact: rain made of diamonds?
Imagine it's raining diamonds. No, it's not a fairy tale. It's real science. On planets like Neptune and Uranus, scientists believe that it literally rains gems. These ice giants are so far from the sun and have such extreme pressure in their atmospheres that carbon atoms get squeezed super tight. This pressure bangs them into each other, creating sparkly diamonds that might rain down through the planet's icy layers. Now, it's not like you could go there with a bucket and start collecting diamonds. These planets have super harsh conditions, with winds faster than the speed of sound and temperatures cold enough to freeze gas. Plus, these diamonds fall to the planet's cores, where it's hotter than the surface of the sun. But just knowing that there's a place in the vastness of space where the skies sparkle with diamonds is pretty wild, don't you think? Space sure has some jewels up its sleeve, making our wildest dreams look kind of plain.
Chocolate vision? Can eating dark chocolate really boost your eyesight?
Did you know munching on dark chocolate might give your eyes a super boost? It sounds like a sweet dream, but some science says it could be true. Here's the deal. Dark chocolate is packed with flavonoids that are really good for your heart, and what's good for your heart is often good for your eyes. A small study showed people seeing better in terms of reading small print and discerning low-contrast shapes after eating a bar of dark chocolate compared to milk chocolate. But why? Well, those heart-happy flavonoids help blood flow smoothly, and that includes blood flow to your eyes. When your eyes get more blood, they could work better, even if it's just for a short time. So, while you can't swap out your glasses for a chocolate bar, grabbing a square of dark chocolate might give you a little temporary eye power-up. Just remember, moderation is key. Too much chocolate isn't good for the waistline, even if your eyes like the treat.
Hot feet in a cold place? Discover penguin's cozy secret.
Penguins waddle around icy Antarctica without even wearing shoes. Brrr! But did you know they have a special trick to keep their feet warm? These tuxedoed birds are walking on fire. Well, not actual fire, but they do have a super cool system inside their bodies that works like natural floor heating. Here's the scoop. Penguins have a unique blood flow to their feet. Warm blood going down to their toes meets cold blood coming back up, which warms it again. It's like a heat exchange, which keeps their feet just above freezing, not too cold to freeze, and not too warm to melt the ice they stand on. Smart, right? These feathered friends have their own built-in warm socks made out of blood vessels. Nature has its amazing ways, and penguin feet are one hot topic in the freezing lands of the South Pole. So next time you see a penguin standing chill on the ice, remember, they've got the heat under their feet.
Jump like a kangaroo? Human shoes inspired by nature's hopper.
What if I told you that one of the best jumpers in the animal kingdom inspired athletic shoes? Yes, kangaroos, the bouncy creatures from down under, have a special way of hopping that conserves energy and allows them to leap great distances. Their tendons act like rubber bands, storing energy when they touch the ground and releasing it to power the next jump. Scientists and shoemakers got inspired by these jumping experts and created energy-efficient running shoes. These shoes have a special design and materials that mimic the spring-like action of kangaroo tendons. This means that when you run or jump in these shoes, they help push you forward a little bit, just like a kangaroo. It's not enough to make you hop like the marsupials themselves, but it's a cool example of how we take cues from nature to improve our technology. Even better, this kangaroo-inspired footwear could help reduce the strain on athletes' legs, and even the everyday jogger can feel a bit more spring in their step. It's all thanks to the amazing design of kangaroo legs.
The ribbiting rhythm. Can frogs sing in chorus?
Ever wandered by a pond and heard a frog choir? It's not your ears playing tricks. Frogs can actually sing in chorus. But hold on, why would these jumpy friends want to start a band out in the wild? For male frogs, it's all about impressing a mate. Their ribbits and croaks are love songs. Here's the fascinating part. A single frog starts the tune, and then like a green wave, all the others join in. But how do they all sing together without getting into a ribbiting ruckus? It turns out frogs are really good listeners. Each one waits for a tiny gap in the noise before belting out its own song. So they are not just croaking away. They're taking turns in near-perfect timing, making a synchronized symphony. This helps each frog solo stand out in the crowd. Talk about a natural talent show. Next time you hear a frog concert, remember these little creatures aren't just making noise. They're putting on a well-orchestrated performance.
What do space rockets and hummingbirds have in common?
It might seem strange, but space rockets actually share a cool feature with tiny hummingbirds. What could these massive machines possibly have in common with little birds? It's all about staying stable. Rockets use something called gimbal to balance and steer in space. This gimbal is a system that can pivot the engine's thrust to help the rocket change direction. Now, hummingbirds also have their unique way to stay steady while they're zooming through the air and sipping nectar from flowers. They have super flexible shoulders, which let them rotate their wings in all directions. This incredible wing movement is like their own natural gimbal. It keeps them perfectly balanced and makes them the only birds that can hover and fly backward. So both rockets and hummingbirds use a sort of gimbal system to keep stable and maneuver precisely. Next time you watch a rocket launch or spot a hummingbird floating in midair, remember this awesome connection. It's a little reminder that big or small, nature and technology often have clever solutions to similar challenges.
Can ears of corn really hear?
When you think of an ear of corn, you probably imagine a tasty vegetable, not something that listens. But here's a fun fact to chew on. The term ear in ear of corn actually comes from an ancient word, as, which meant husk of corn. Over time, as evolved into ear in English. But that's not the only cool thing. An ear of corn usually has an even number of rows, most often 16. Why even, you wonder? It's all about how corn grows. Each kernel on the cob starts as a flower, which needs to be pollinated. The flowers are arranged in pairs, and that's why the kernels end up in even-numbered rows. Nature is tidy like that. So, while an ear of corn can't hear you, it's got its own neat story. And each time you enjoy some corn on the cob, you're really snacking on a bunch of flower pairs, all lined up in neat rows. Isn't that something to tell your friends at your next barbecue?